And good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races presented by Fidelity. First, I'm Stanton Salter along with Keith Fusel on a beautiful Friday to kick off another huge weekend of racing at Laurel Park. Tomorrow is Stakes Festival Round 2. We'll get to all that. We have 6 stake races, but first we can't look past today. Today's going to be big. Monster carryover today in that popular national wager. The Stronach 5 is going to start right here today. Laurel Park Race 8. There's the carryover, Keith. How about that? We're going to start with a little over 107,000 a couple of weeks ago when we had a nice carryover. It got close to around 400,000. This carryover is bigger. We're hoping it gets around 500,000 when it's all said and done today in that Stronach 5.
Serious money that you're going after today at Laurel Park for the Stronach 5 carryover 107.
Yep.
Like I say, I think we go at least 350, 400,000, wouldn't you think, into that pot? So it's tougher races. There's no doubt. We've got 2 from here, some bigger fields that you've got to navigate through, but hopefully you can reap a big reward at the end.
All right, well, there's the tracks that are participating. Laurel Park, Gulfstream, Golden Gate. We welcome back Santa Anita Park, the great race place, back in the mix. They have their opening day today out there at Santa Anita. There's the lineup of races. Going to start about 5:09 Eastern time right here. Laurel Park, race 8, big field on the turf. Then we go to Gulfstream Park, race 7. Then Santa Anita Park, race 4. Then Golden Gate Fields, race 4. Then we wrap it up. Laurel Park, race 10. I have a ticket. Let's show it to you real quick. You can study this ticket some more on the laurelpark.com website underneath the handicapping section. All of our picks for today are up there. All of our multi-race tickets are up there for today. Here's my ticket. I think the 2 legs at Laurel Park are the big, are the toughest legs, Keith. I go 5 deep in the first leg. I use a 2, 3, 8, 12, 13. And then I'm 3 deep at Gulfstream. Couple singles. I like Doug O'Neill, number 7 at Santa Anita, and then in the 9 at Golden Gate. And then I'm 6 deep in the finale. It's going long. What's that? A 16,002 life going long on the turf. I like some prices in there. Mike Pino, the 6 at a big price, first off the claim. So I think that horse first off the claim, right? The Pino horse. Make sure I'm not giving out bad info here.
It was.
It's a rider change too. Yeah, they have first off the claim for Pino. 1 last down, first time blinkers. That's a big rider change too. Number 6 in race 10. Last leg. Keep that up for a second, please. Thanks, guys. In the final leg of the Stronach 5 today, which is Laurel Park race 10. I like the 6 Graveyard Shift, 12-1, first off the claim for Mike Pino. Rider change. Make the rider Georgie Vargas Jr. That's a big rider change. Vargas on the 6 Graveyard Shift, I think, is live at a big price, but I go 6 deep in that leg.
Certainly the bookends, leg A and E here at Laurel Park. Really, I'm not saying inscrutable. They are really tough races, though, to work through. And at that $1 ticket, man, you may have to trim a little bit to make it worthwhile, or grab a friend, put some money together, and see if you can hit it with a bigger ticket. But they're not making it easy for you at all this afternoon.
And this the Stronach 5, I've noticed it has some big ticket insurance, okay? I mean, if you play a big ticket, you just need $1, $12, $14 horse to get home, and that's what happened the last time we had the carryover. You had 4 short price favorites win. One horse, I think, paid $12, and it paid almost $4,000 in the Stronach 5. That was just a couple weeks ago.
That's been the trend, Stan. I mean, you could string $6, $8, $10, $14, $7. All of a sudden, you're looking at $2,500, $3,000. So what if you've got to invest, $150 in the ticket? That's a pretty good return.
All right, so Stronach 5 starts race 8 today. We have a couple other nice carryovers today. Starting race 5, the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. There's the carryover today, $14,714. That's going to start race 5 today on the Big Ten race program. Then another carryover, late Pick 5, starting race 6 with that industry low 12% takeout. There's the carryover, a little shy of $4,600 in that late Pick 5. We also have a little over $700 in the rolling Super High 5. That starts in race 2 today, so all kinds of action. There you go. That starts race 2 today, the Super High 5 with that low 15% takeout. So all kinds of action today. We'll get to all the handicapping for today. Let's show you what's going on tomorrow, September to Remember Stakes Festival Round 2. Special early first race post time, 12:25. 6 stake races. The stakes action starts race 4 tomorrow with the $75,000 Chaladon. Then races 4 through 8 are all stake races. Then race 10, we wrap it up with the Howard County Stakes. But one of my favorite stakes tomorrow is going to be race 7 to kick off the Pick 6, the $100,000 Japan Turf Cup, going a mile and a half on the all-along turf course. I like an 8-to-1 shot on top in there. The 6, Nakamura, has won 3 in a row for trainer Graham Motion. He's a perfect 3 for 3 this year as a 4-year-old. He's by Animal Kingdom, and he is having a big year. Motion had a big day last Saturday. He won 3 stake races last Saturday, and Motion might have another big stakes festival round 2 with us tomorrow here at Laurel.
Animal Kingdom owes me no money.
Well, you liked him in the Derby that year, didn't you?
Some of his offspring have treated me right as well. And this is an improving type. I like him as well. He's an improving type. A good article, or a good press release, I should say, by the guys in our media department, Phil Janak and company, about this horse. Included some of the information. Graham talking about the Animal Kingdoms getting better as they just get a little bit more mature and grow up. So he's going to be a factor. The extra ground certainly well within his scope.
And of course, Motion trained Animal Kingdom to win the Kentucky Derby and the Dubai World Cup. You picked out, you spotted the big work. I remember you told me about that big work Kentucky Derby week down there in Louisville.
Yeah, we had that, and just the way he kind of, he took an unusual trip over a turfway, right, and just showed a turn of foot that you don't usually see. They look like they're kind of almost running in place when it was back on that surface, and I tell you, he showed a turn of foot. I was down watching that race at Ellery, if I'm not mistaken, and I said, there's your horse. I said, that's the one, and boy, he got it done. Was it Johnny V, right? I think.
Yes,
yeah.
Johnny V, yeah. So Animal Kingdom, good racehorse, proven a top sire as well. I like Nakamura tomorrow in the Japan Turf Cup. Let's get right to it. Let's show you a picture of the tracks today. It's beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous day.
We're on the all-along with no rail. The Dahlia with 52 feet is the rail, fast and firm. What are we in? And we're in the 80s, sunny. Might get a little warm, but there's no clouds, no rain. Just perfect today, fast and firm. 110 for the first race start. Let's get right to it here. Race 1 is going to kick off the popular early pick 5, which is a mandatory payout. Industry low, 12% takeout on the early pick 5. I have a ticket. Let's take a look at this early pick 5. I have a key horse on the early pick 5. My best bet of the day. I go for some coverage in races 1, 2, and 3, as you see there on the screen. My single comes in race 4. A nice 2 other than allowance feature, going a mile on the main track. I single on the Englehart runner, the 4, So Conflated, a big 14-length winner last out, going 7 furlongs on a sloppy track at Saratoga, a big 87 buyer speed figure. Vargas rides for Englehart. I like the 4, So Conflated, 7-2 there in race 4.
Right into top line growth. Look at that.
Yeah, going against
top
line
single
growth.
there, Stan. Yeah, I like it.
Going against top line growth. That's so race 4, one of our features of the day. Let's take a look at race 1. We're going 5.5 furlongs, main track, maiden claiming 16,000 for the 2-year-olds. Let's start with the 5 here. The 5, Little Harbor, is your 9-5 morning line favored. We have a stat for you. Have the 5 on top. I pick him second, and you have a stat here for trainer Kelly Breen.
Yeah, he's done quite well. Last 3 years, 8 for 27 and 16 for 27 on the money with dirt runners at Laurel Park. 30% clip. ROI is okay, and Little Harbor, kind of a quick give-up, a $67,000 purchase. Ran okay in debut, August the 11th at Monmouth Park. Went back, watched that rerun, a little troubled to break, steadied in a little bit close, but showed a turn of foot 4 wide before flattening out against a much better field. Big City Bob came back to win the Sapling, second-place finisher, third in the Smoke Glacken Stakes with an improved number of an 83. Key horse is there. The quick give-up does concern me, but it looks like they don't worry about parting ways. You've got McCarthy here with Kelly Breen. A good break is what this horse is going to need, and I think he gets the maiden broken today. Here's your one. This is an angle. I'd like to go back and look at the stat here for Susan Cooney. Got to work at Laurel Park, right, Stan?
2 works at Laurel.
Yeah, that's been key throughout the last couple of years, and she shows a good positive ROI in the debut and the maiden claimers, albeit a smaller sample, but I'll let you talk a little bit more about the one, Great Quest.
Yeah, I picked the horse on top. He's well-bred. He's by Flatter, homebred for Quest Realty and Susan Cooney. 2 nice works from the gate here at Laurel Park. The other works at WLN. That's her private training center in Virginia, about a half an hour south of Charlestown. It's an old DuPont estate
Okay.
in a lush meadow, a beautiful training center she trains at in Virginia. So we both like the one Great Quest. I'm not thrilled about the inside post for the debut, but you get the X-Man. And look at the positive ROI with Xavier Perez and Susan Cooney recently. Positive ROI of over $7.
And half to a couple winners, and actually full to Whiskey Woo, who I think won early. It was a little bit quirky, Whiskey Woo. I think he wasn't, the greatest of actors, but he got the job done early. In for 16. Maybe he has some of the same traits as horse, the one Great Quest. So the two, we've seen Justin Nixon come in the last couple of years and do okay. Synthetic to dirt. He's 2 for 6, 33% synthetic to dirt the last 3 years with a positive ROI. 5-1-2-6 for me in the opener. It's interesting. Christian Olmo teaming up with Farrier, first-timer by Daredevil. Daredevil only 1 for 18 so far with the first-time starters, but 9 for 18 in the money. Works are okay. Worked with a horse by the name of Malibu Moonstruck recently. Horse hasn't broken its maiden, has run 3 times, but took a lot of money in its starts and did flash some speed last time out.
All right, so maiden 16, 2-year-olds, 5.5 to kick off the early pick 5. You like the early pick 4. That's a nice big field on the turf. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. Let's check out your ticket and see how you played it.
Kind of an odd ticket when you look at it. It looks a little bit like that
That's
Stronach
right.
5
Sorry,
ticket.
guys. Okay, so Super High 5.
Okay.
My bad. That starts in race 2. A little over $701 for the Super High 5. Low 15% takeout. Okay. Now early pick 5 also starts race 2. Here's your ticket, Keith.
Yeah, a couple singles and some spreads. Look at that. We're going to single, fed up, fire it up. I mean, Donnie Barr's win percentage is pretty low, with next out winners. This horse, though, she's maintained form, catches the right kind of feel. Queen of Smooths, I'm just concerned about the route of ground for her, for Kieran, but he's still maintaining good form after the claim. But I'm going to go ahead and single, fed up, fired up. This is where it gets interesting in the third. You've got 2-year-old fillies going a mile, Stan. I think there's a myriad of ways to go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 13. Singling top line growth. If you want to maybe go put in your horse as well, so Conflated, do as well and bump it to 40. And then we're going to come back with the 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Top selection there is the 8, 15 Royals, but a couple firsters that kind of merit a little bit of attention there. The 5 cheers and applause, and we know how well Lacey Gaudet has done of late with the 2-year-old firsters.
All right, let's take a look here at race 2. We're going a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course. No rail, claiming 16,000. Filly mares 3 and up, wide open, no conditions. I like the 5. Let's start with the 7. Fed up, fired up. You single on the 6-year-old mare by English Channel. She had a nice big win last out. The 7, fed up, fired up. 5-2 morning line. Jorge Riaz will ride once again. Let's show you the win. And Riaz was aboard for this win, a big, good-looking win against Open 12-5.
Yeah, and she's showing she's not the type of horse that needs really a true setup. Yeah, Melina, some back speed, but she was clear on her none, really getting no pressure whatsoever. But fed up, fired up. She relaxed beautifully under Ruiz when he said, let's go, leaving the half mile. She just started her run, sustained it out wide. A little drift in here. He's got to go to the left-handed stick, but she's going to kind of go right on by, announce her authority past the 16th pole and roll away to win by 4 and change. She's right back, a little bump up to 16. This race, to me, might be even a little bit lighter than last when you really break it all down. Canetta, I think they're going to try to get her back on her game. Form really hasn't picked up off the claim, the dirt form. She's got some okay back numbers on the turf, but I think fed up, fired up again, just settles. All she has to do is run the last 3/8 of a mile, and she's proven right now she's consistently getting the job done.
Well, that was a big win we just showed. I like her. I use her in the exact. I go with the 5 on top. You like the 5, Queen of Schmooze, 3-1. You get the top bug rider, Julio Correa, to ride for Kieran McGee. It's a 4-year-old filly by Duntalkin. She's been sprinting on the turf. She's been sprinting on the turf against Allowance Company. She's run a couple decent races in her 2 races off the claim for Kieran. Now she stretches out for the first time on the turf, so she gets a nice lightweight assignment, 116. So you have to think probably the 5, Queen of Schmooze, is going to be part of the early pace. And we've had a nice we've had a rapid, firm turf course
Mm-hmm.
here the past couple weeks, so that could benefit to the 5 Queen of
I
Schmooze.
didn't get dig real deep on the breeding. They're done talking. We know can get a route of ground. You Dubai, I always kind of think sprint, but against this field, the pace is not going to be demanding for her, and she's shown some fight in those sprints against some pretty good horses. That Dancer Stroll race is going to come back as a key race. I like some horses out of there moving forward over the weekend.
All right, so we both like the 5 and the 7. I didn't use the 1. Jumpstart My Heart had a big
Oh.
win at Colonial last out for Dale Capuano. She's 3 for 10 in the money here on the Laurel turf. Sheldon
Mm-hmm.
Russell had a big weekend last weekend. He'll get a ground saving trip on this Maryland-bred mare by Jumpstart.
Yeah, as you would think, Ruiz would go ahead. He has his choice. He's going to go with Fed Up, Fired Up. But it jumpstart my heart. I like that improved race. I know it was against a little bit lighter, maybe down at Colonial, but the way to do it from the outside post to be able to get position, she showed a little bit more tactical speed. Maybe Dale's got her at her top form. I know she can handle the distance, mile 16th, no issue. I think she'll settle and make a sustained run into it.
All right, so nice open 16,000 filly and mares going long on the turf there in race 2. Race 3, a maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies going a mile on the Dahlia turf course with the rail at 52 feet. This is the race you spread deep on your early pick 4. I go 4 deep as well in this race. Some nice fillies in here. Let's start with the 6. My top pick here, Princess Katie, is going to be one of your favorites. 2-year-old filly by Dialed In. She ran big last out, going a mile on the turf at Colonial. That was her second time going long on the turf. She ran a big second, 60 by her. She backed up that big second she had going long on the turf right here at Laurel back in early August against Maiden 40. Now the blinkers go on. She's probably going to go right to the front with McCarthy. So I go up to 6, Princess Katie on top.
Not going to get the 14 to 1, nearly 15 to 1 you got on her last time out of a good race. Love Beach came back to run a decent third, a respectable third in the Salima with a buyer of 64. Some other key horses, Miss Jamie K, albeit on the dirt. That race on August 4th has had some horses come out of there and do well. So she's run against the right kind. Not so sure why the blinkers are going on. They're going to try it. Not the greatest percentages of moves for Wayne Potts. Maybe thought she was hanging a little bit, keep her a little bit more focused. Princess Katie, I do believe, is a user. My top selection here is going to be the 3, Roma Delight, though, for Jeremiah O'Dwyer, young and upcoming trainer, doing quite well of late. Roma Delight faced a really tall task. You go down to Kentucky Downs in a big gaudy field of 12, caught wide after a slow break, and actually showed a little bit of late life. I like the short comment from our guys down there in Kentucky. Improved, willing to the wire, certainly bred to handle a little bit more ground. Lasix goes on. I like Roma Delight here from mid-pack with a cleaner break this afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't use it. But look at the purse of that maiden special weight down there at Kentucky Downs, 134,000. So you know you had some nice 2-year-old fillies in there. I didn't use the filly. She does get first-time Lasix for a barn that is on a roll. They've been doing well. So let's just see if you get a good price here on Roma Delight.
And it's key that's I get it circled. Sequin. Okay, the horse that ran second in there was out of that sharing race in New York up at Saratoga. Sharon came back to win the Salima quite impressively. So keying up against the right kind. I know a lot of people, key horses. I do key horses. I think, especially horses that are maintaining form. This horse has every right to improve second out. That's the 3, Roma Delight.
Okay, I used a 9 in my exacta here. In a Hurry, a homebred for Stuart S. Janney III and the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee. She's by Blame out of an Affleet Alex mare. They tried maiden special weight sprinting on the turf down there at Colonial. I like the comment there, late interest, so she made up some ground. She was far back in that race and then made up some ground in the stretch. The 1-2 finishers came back to win, so that looks like a tough maiden special weight at Colonial. Now she gets added ground in her second start. Forest Boys and McGahee have done very well together here. In Maryland, 25% recently with a big positive ROI. So I use this well-bred filly in my exact to the 9 in a Hurry.
Yeah, American Giant, that was the Trombetta runner, came back to win the first level allowance at Laurel Park with a good number. The 10, 3-sided story out of the Princess Katie race. Here we go, second round. I've got a stat for Proctor over the last few years. Last 3 years, 4 for 12. 33% with 2-year-olds in their second round on the turf. Okay, that's an ROI of close to $3. She has every right to move up as well. So that kind of grabs me. Bella Aurora on the go back in that sprint track, three-sided story, certainly proven and can handle some ground. Do we have any other breeders' notes? You've got Bonkers, the 8 for Delacour. Delacour rolling right along at about 30% out of a mare. Emotional Kitten, 5 for 24 on the turf. Graded stakes place for one upwards of $545,000. So, New Circle, Shepherd's horse, a little word on that one. So, a lot of different ways. Even the 5, I was looking up. How about this one, Anthony Hamilton Jr.? How about that mare? Namaste's Wish, 4 for 17 on the turf, made close to $250,000, running a high buyer of 93. Was second in the Grade 3 Virginia Oaks. So some well-bred fillies in here that could get it done. We're going to go a mile on the ground, a mile on the turf. This is a tough little race for these horses. A bigger field, some traffic to deal with. How will they react to that? I like the experience with the 3, especially handling a big field in Kentucky Downs.
All right, so a nice group of maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies going a mile on the Dahlia there. Race 3, let's turn the page. Race 4 kicks off the middle pick 4. It's one of our features of the day. A second level allowance for 3 and up. Optional claiming $35,000, going a flat mile. And the other 10's going to be tough here. The 10's your 9-5 morning line favorite. Top line growth. Let's start right there. We have a video spotlight to show you. Let's show you the big win right here at Laurel back on June 8th. He fired a 90 buyer. We knew he was something special after we saw this win.
Yeah, you see the short comment we put in there, when ready outside of arrival, easily. The easily comment is doled out maybe about 4 to 5 times a year by Bill and myself up there doing the Yuckle-based charts. And, you have to do it without basically being asked at all. And watch top line growth. We'll just take this in through the final quarter of a mile, 3/16 of a mile. The internal fractions were decent, okay, 23, 4, 46, and 3, picking up 10 and 2, and just moving away with complete ease. Just off of this race is the Let's Go to the Iowa Derby. A good second after trouble in there, and face some heavy heads. Mr. Money Spun to Run back here in this 2 other than. Your 4 so conflated. I really don't know what to make of this horse. Back numbers. That was second off a layoff, called a shorter field on a sloppy sealed surface. I don't know what to do. I know one thing: top line growth, likes Laurel, is just going to be poised to bounce outside rivals when they hit the top of the stretch. I think he gets back in the winning form here after those tries in the Grade 3 races.
All right, so he's been he's been campaigning against some top 3-year-olds, and now he goes against older horses here. He clobbered older horses in that video we showed you there. Now that was against Restricted Allowance Company. There's some tough customers in here. He'll be tough. I use him in my exacta, but the 4 so conflated. Yeah, maybe it was the slop that moved him up last out at Saratoga. But I'll just take a shot that trainer Jerry Englehart has this 5-year-old by Escondrea in very good form. That was the second start in the Englehart barn. Second start off a long layoff, and it looked like they figured him out. Gets a big 87 buyer up there, going 7 furlongs in the slot. Much tougher company today against 2 other than going a mile, and he has to do it on a fast track, and he has to do it against a horse like Top Line Growth. But Vargas rides for Englehart. They're 34% together in a positive ROI. So I take a shot with a 7-2 shot here. The 4 so conflated. We both like the 5 as well. The 5 Tattooed for Timmy Keefe. Virgil Lynch will ride. He's a 4-time winner at Laurel Park, and he just missed at this level back in March against some tough customers there. So this will be his 3rd race back after having some time off. The 5 Tattooed we both like.
Yeah, I like Tattooed. I like the way this horse is managed right here. 2 sprints. Now we're going back to the mile distance, the perfect distance, 4 for 9, as you stated. 4 for 9 the distance, 4 wins at Laurel Park. I think this horse sits mid-pack. This is the right kind of move. Makes a run into it. I don't know if he's quite as good as Top Line Growth, but 10-5-2-4. Brighton Lane is your kind of blow-up horse, maybe used underneath in the tries and exactly. I think just they keep coming back to Laurel. Yeah, he hasn't won a Laurel. He has won a Laurel, I should say. At the distance, he's 0 for 12, but he's all right. He's got a run in him, and I think you're going to see one of the better versions of Brighton Lane today.
All right, so the first 4 races have been challenging, tough allowance races, maiden special weight races, big fields on the turf. More of that to come as we kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's get a quick commercial break. Pick 6, that starts in race 5. We'll be right back.
Join us for Jim McKay Maryland Million Day on Saturday, October 19th at Laurel Park. Come with friends and family to Maryland's Day at the Races, a celebration of Maryland's horses and lots of fun for all ages. Enjoy a full day of racing, including on-track entertainment between races. Don't miss the hat contest, 3 categories and wonderful prizes. It'll be fun for all at Laurel Park, Saturday, October 19th. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or LaurelPark.com.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Starts in race 5 today. Nice carryover. It's getting up there. $14,714. My co-host in the afternoon, Tim Tulloch, he has a ticket. Let's check it out real quick, see how he played it. $43 20-cent play. You can study this ticket some more at laurelpark.com. Underneath the handicapping section, all of our tickets and plays for today are on that page. All of the press releases about the latest mail-in racing news, information about upcoming events. But there's Tim's ticket. He goes 4 deep in race 5 with the 4, 6, 7, 8. His single comes in race 6. He singles on the 5 Bahamian Prince for George Weaver, 3-5 favored there in race 6. And then he has some good coverage in the other races. So we all had a big weekend last weekend giving out picks. Tim gave out a winning pick 6 ticket. You had some big picks. I got Dubini home in the Laurel Dash last Saturday. So the pressure's on. We have to do it again this weekend. We're going to have some big crowds, nice weather. Let's see if we can get live in the first leg of the pick 6. Race 5, 6 furlongs, main track, 6 furlongs, maiden 40 for 2-year-old fillies. And we both like the 8 here. A well-bred filly for Country Life Farm and Mike Trombetto, the 8-15 Royals by Palace Malice out of a good Malibu Moon mare, 15 Moon. She's been working well right here at Laurel Park. Check out the work August 26th right here at Laurel from the gate. 5 furlongs, 1 minute and 4. That was a bullet workout. That's a real big move. And then recently a nice half-mile work from the gate. So she's been working well. Late 6, you get Pimentel and a good outside draw. So we both go with the 8-15 Royals on top.
I'm sure we'll have a large contingent, right, from Country Life Farm here.
Big
and
crowd,
the money will show, I would certainly believe. The ones that have run, the couple have run, really haven't shown a lot. 15 Royals. Yeah, 3 foals have combined for over $650,000. You've got Moon Vision, a 10-time winner. Mela, Lunar Real, who's done maybe a little bit better running on the turf, but proven there. The mare is proven. 15 Moons, 15 Royals. Yeah, also my top selection in the 5th. Cheers and Applause, Mary Epler going to team up with Carol Sedano here. By Mineshaft to Cheers and Applause out of a mare, Eddie Gourmet, 5 for 34, made on $260,000. Won the Conniver Stakes. This horse might want a little bit more ground. I think Cheers and Applause is all right. And Long Point Beach, Lacey Gaudet had a winner a couple weeks ago at a big number. I think ran a buyer of like 77. But this horse is a half to bunting. Really speedy filly we've seen for Rodney Jenkins. So expect some speed from Long Point Beach.
All right, it's a nice race here. Neither one of us used the 4 but Claudio had Claudio. What was the last Saturday? Had a $14
You had that horse, I believe. Yep.
Had a $14 debut winner. He's got a filly here by Mucho Macho Man. It's been working okay here at Laurel Park. Kevin Gomez will ride. So the 4 Haas Kitten is all right. McCarthy's on a Trombetta horse. The 3 Palace Check. I didn't use the 3. You did.
I did. Took that money on the turf. This horse is better on the dirt. You'll see much better than that turf try on September the 6th.
All right, let's move along here. Race 6 is going to kick off the late pick 5. Nice carryover in our late pick 5. Not as big as the Stronach 5. We have to get to that. That's coming up in race 8. That's the big one today, but a nice little carryover. Let's show it to you. There it is, $4,589 for the late pick 5 carryover. Low 12% takeout. I have a ticket. Let's take a look. I couldn't find a single on this late pick 5. My singles in the early pick 5. Couldn't find one here on the late pick 5, so $48 ticket. I go with the 3-5-7 here in race 6. All right, let's take a look at race 6. Another big field on the turf, 5.5 furlongs on the all-along turf course. No rail, maiden claiming $25,000 for 2-year-olds, and we had a few scratches in here. They were long shots. I go with the 7 on top here. Mind the hold's going to be a price. Let's start though with the 5 Bahamian Prince. Your top pick, 3-5 morning line with the scratches. Might even be lower, but this horse, George Weaver, he's won races, coming shipping down here, dropping from New York. But this horse ran a big race up there last out at Saratoga against Restricted, maiden special weight, a good 3rd with a 63 buyer. Looks like the horse could have been sitting on a win next out up there.
No doubt.
In New York. You could maybe drop to maiden something up there in New York, but they big drop down here to the maiden 25. Fergal Lynch will ride. I just, maybe a little question mark with the big drop.
No
so
doubt.
I try to beat the horse.
No doubt, Stan. I mean, he might regress a ton in here, but if some of the other horses have shown me just a little bit, I maybe could have put somebody else on top. I just couldn't find anybody. Irish Town didn't run terrible at Colonial for the maiden 20s. Horse bet down there, beaten favorite, but was willing to the wire, and I think Mind the Hold can make a run into it. But Bohemian Prince comes out of a race. Chimney Rock, the winner, ran a 66, was a troubled second, and a stake at Kentucky Downs. Right. You're right. I mean, so what's up with this? They claim for 50, and now you're willing just to go ahead and part ways for 25. Maybe there's a reason the horse was in for 50 first time out.
Sure.
Okay, they took the bait, and now they're going to just try to probably win and unload, but you don't have to go far. Last Sunday, was it the last race of the day? George Weaver got beat at a short price.
Yep,
Extremely short price.
Yeah, the big long shot winner last Sunday to wrap things up. So, all right, the 5 Bahamian Prince going to be a big favorite. I try to beat the Mind the Hold. Ran a couple good races here at Laurel, sprinting on the turf. Third in debut, sprinting maiden 25 turf. Sidecar came back to win in a good second. Rallied from far back in a second start against maiden 40. Going 5.5 on the turf. Got up for second that day, and didn't really like the dirt at Timonium. Just forget about that race. He's back to his best surface today. Jorge Riaz will ride. So, Dale Capuano with a good rider here. The 7 Mind the Hold, I think, is very live.
Yeah, once in a lifetime's run. Okay, now trying the turf. We'll see. But I tried Timonium. Was okay. It wasn't bad. I like the improvement. I think Jerry had a horse he transitioned to the turf a week or two ago. Maiden got the job done. So, yeah, 5, 9, 7, 8. The 5 is going to be the key. He's going to be a single in probably 80% of the time. I mean, going to be a lot of the tickets, maybe more. So that's if you'd be the right way to do it if you're going to take that. Go ahead and spread it in there. Take a couple horses. Use the 5 and maybe 1 or 2 others if you're going to have your best chance. The other horse goes down. It's anybody's ball game.
Right. All right, let's turn the page here. Race 7 kicks off the late pick 4 on the main track. 6.5 furlongs, claiming 10,003 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. Scratch to 3, Campari, who was 5-2 morning line. So the 2 Lucky Junior, who was 3-1, probably going to be what 2-1 favorite here, 9-5.
Yeah, probably in that 9-5 range, I would think. Yeah.
Ran big last out at this level, 10-2 life, going a mile on the main track. Went to the front, got a little tired, finished third, 63 buyer. A perfect cutback today to 6.5 furlongs, and you get Alex Centron to ride. I think the 2 Lucky Junior looks awfully tough in race 7.
Yeah, they went okay internals last time out at the mile. Showed improved speed. We haven't really seen that turn of foot by Lucky Junior, but showing improved form. So I don't think he's going to be far off of it at all in this race. He was pretty gritty to the end. Son of a pony, that was the first off the claim for Lynch. Lucky Junior has shown the ability to close into sprints as well, so into the speed when sprinting. So Lucky Junior, the horse to beat. Rip Rap Riley, maybe another one. Claimed for 16, went over to Timonium, took a little bit of play, 6-1, a little tougher field, a little discombobulated at the break, never got focused, rated 2 starts back. Not a lot of true speed. I'm hoping this horse is on the engine with Ruiz. Del Cap, he's okay here. He's 26% with the 50% droppers in class on the dirt. So Rip Rap Riley may be a slight upsetter, but Lucky Junior clearly the one to beat, I think, in race 7. New face, the 7 CM Runaway off of a left. Now is protected, and Bobby Claseras doing no wrong of late.
Sure. Coming off a long layoff to 7. All right, let's turn the page. Race 8. Big popular national wager starts race 8. We'll have a big handle on race 8 overall. And let's show you the carryover we're going to start with in the Stronach 5, the popular national wager with that industry low 12% takeout. Starts in race 8 right here at Laurel Park. There's the carryover, over 107,000. We think it's going to get up to around 500,000 maybe. Let's show you the lineup of races real quick. Starts Laurel Park, race 8, 5:09 Eastern time. Then we go to Gulfstream, race 7. Santa Anita Park, race 4. I like Doug O'Neill at Santa Anita Park. Then Golden Gate Fields, race 4. Then we wrap it up right here, Laurel Park, race 10. Let's check out my ticket real quick for the Stronach 5. I have 2 key horses on the ticket. Let's check it out real quick. I go 5 deep in the first leg of the Stronach 5. I used a 2, 3, 8, 12 in the 13. The 3 Suzette Star, I think, is live at a decent price. The 2 Can the Queen, a live first-time starter at 5-1. The 8 Princess Rosie's my top pick. And then on the outside. The 12, Dixie's Fascinator. Now the 13, Mabel's Fable, draws in off the AE. That's why I used the filly. You get Jevion Toledo, blinkers on. So the 13, Mabel's Fable, draws off the AE in the first leg. Then Gulfstream race 7, I go with the 9, 10, 11. I have 2 key horses. Race 4 at Santa Anita is a nice allowance race going to mile turf. I key on Doug O'Neill with the 7 in Eddie Surprise with Mario Gutierrez aboard, 5-2 on the 7 in Eddie Surprise. Then leg D is Golden Gate Fields, race 9 going a mile on the Tapeta out there at Golden Gate, and I single there on the 9, Rubley Bradley at 7-2. And then the final leg, leg E, Laurel Park, race 10, going a mile turf, 16,002 life filly and mares. This race is wide open. I go 6 deep there with the 2, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. $90 ticket. You can study it some more at laurelpark.com. The 2 legs at Laurel Park are tough. Let's take a look here. Race 8. Laurel Park, maiden claiming 16,000, filly and mares 3 and up, 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia rail at 52 feet. Let's start with the 3. We have a video spotlight of the 3, Suzette Star. Let's show you the race late July right here at Laurel Park at this level, sprinting on the turf. This was what, first time? No, this wasn't first time blinkers. Okay,
No.
she's had blinkers her whole life. Okay.
Right. We're going to be second time Lasix today and really battled through some pretty good internal fractions early on. Opened up about 4.5 lengths in mid-stretch, switches over to a correct lead late. Just can't hold off the closer. They're best at getting better. That was the Sagamore runner that day. Called a yielding surface next time out. I'll forgive that try. We talked about second Lasix today. Derek Parham over the years has done well with the turf runners. Suzette Star, I think, bounces back today. Speed, going to be a major player and an advantage, I believe, in this race. Some questionable types. The 2, the Queen, going to be top selection, though. When I'm in doubt, I look for the percentage, high percentages abound here with Rodolfo Sanchez Salaman. This 3-year-old filly by the man who's about 15% with his first-time starters and about 19% with his turf sprinters. Looking on the bottom side, the mare was unraced but has 3 turf-winning sibs. Here it is, the Queen. I think just an alert break, maybe a stalk. I don't know if she's going to show as much speed as the 3 or maybe the 1, but I think this horse is going to be ready for connections. Jockey trainer at a high clip at a Gordo ROI. When in doubt, I'm gonna lean towards guys like this. I'll take the 2, the Queen.
All right, so I like both the 2 and the 3. The 8, Princess Rosie, going to be my top pick. Just missed at this level. 2 back here at Laurel Park. August 1st with Caramanos aboard. Good second, got beat 3/4 of a length. The horse that was 3rd would come back to win, and then maybe regressed a little bit in her next start. She ran an okay 3rd that day. The winner of that race would come back to win. Now we get back with Caramanos. This filly should get a nice stalking trip on the outside. So the 8, Princess Rosie,
Sure.
my top pick. But I like the 2 and the 3. The 12 is tough in here. Dixie's Fascinator ran an okay 4th against Maiden 25,000 back in June with a 52 buyer. A race like that today, that gives the 12 Dixie's Fascinator a shot for sure.
Yeah, her best running looks like it's going to be sprinting on the turf. So that race last, I'm going to toss the race at Timonium and the route race. Coming back 3 races back, Chibutagawa has come together and put together some big efforts. Has run well on the stretch out. Freezing Waters, a really speedy type. So Dixie's Fascinator, outside post is going to have to draft in a little bit around the turn, but expect some run from her this afternoon.
All right, so big 12-horse field in race 8 to kick off the popular national wager, the Stronach 5 with that big carryover. Remember, the 13 Mabel's Fable does draw in off the AE and runs. Let's take a look at race 9 here as we go with Gulfstream race 7, Santa Anita race 4, Golden Gate race 4. Those are my Stronach 5 races. Here's Laurel Park race 9 to kick off the late daily double. 6 furlongs on the main track, claiming 5,000 filly mares 3 and up. A in 6 months, never won 4. I think the 5 gallops here. We Money Creek right to the front here with Angel Cruz aboard for Kenny Cox. A big win last out. This 4-year-old daughter of Orientates found her best stride, and I think she's going to be tough to beat today. I used a 9 tee up in my exacta for Claudio. Had a big win last out, but I think We Money Creek just in top form right now.
And We Money Creek, she had it kind of easy though, a little soft on the front end against a softer field. Was able to draw off at will. Rapid Route's going to bring some speed from the inside. Some other horses in here are going to force the issue as well. I go to the 7, Greeley Striker, coming out of an open race at Timonium. This horse has been okay at this condition in the past. As you go back to March, we've got a video of that race from March the 9th. This is the race I'm going to key on. When breaking a little bit slowly that afternoon, we're going to see this had to draw the inside. A little bit of just kind of walked out of there. Maybe it gives up a length and a half, 2 lengths out of the break. We're going to see this one more time. And I tell you, Chappie did a good job, though, getting this horse to settle. Now, granted, they went pretty quick, but makes a good run to make a run into it is Greeley Striker. And I think Greeley Striker's a kind of a horse today can sit mid-pack just off of Wee Money Creek Rapid Route and get it done.
All right, let's take a look here. The 7 Greeley Striker I use. I have the 5 on top. The 9 I use in my exacta here. Tee up for Claudio Gonzalez. Victor Rosales will ride. Rosales aboard last out. A sharp win for the nickel 3 life. So this filly will have speed on the outside. You like her a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think this is another one that's going to force the issue. Part of the pace. We're going to have to improve a little bit more, though, for me.
All right, let's turn the page. Big field here in race 10, the final leg of the Stronach 5. We're going a mile on the Dahlia Turf Course rail at 52 feet. Claiming 16,000, filly mares 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. The condition alone screams wide open race, blow up race. Here I go with an 8-1 shot on top. The 11 smoking Caracue for trainer Carl Rafter. CC Lopez rides his 4-year-old daughter of Hunters Bay. Look at a big win at Colonial at 47-1, coming off the long layoff against Maiden 10. That's a cheap field, but it was a big 13-horse field, and backed it up, came back and ran okay against Allowance Company late August down there at Colonial. Got beat less than 5 lengths at 60-1 against Allowance Company. Now a much easier spot today. I think the 11 is live, and I hope I get a big price here to wrap up. Hopefully I'm live in the Stronach 5 to go, and I'm 6 deep here in this race.
And she might get play off of that number. I've got her at 8. She might come down a little bit. She's 60-1, 47-1 as you mentioned. When breaking the maiden, one thing I noticed, the Colonial buyers seem to be just a tad high. Let's talk to Andy about that. Now, granted, they hadn't run for how long? 6 years, or whatever. So, trying to adjust to that. But in range, keys up against some okay horses. I go to the 10 Miss Oliphant, improving. I think this horse with Mary today, cleaner trip. Had to wait around the turn. Had some trouble. Closed in a little flat and late. Long shot user, the 3, Arbutus. Sprinting, not her game. She caught some fast horses up front. She couldn't go with them last time out. You go to the 3-back try on a firm turf course, going a mile on the 16th. Who you're going to call Janelle Dreams. This horse battled every step of the way. Couple bids came to her, just faded very, very late. Positional speed from the inside. I think she hangs around at a big price for Tim Vick.
All right, my long shot play here in race 10. It's not on my picks, but I used the horse on the Stronach 5. The 6 Graveyard Shift. Rider change. Make the rider Georgie Vargas Jr. on the 6 Graveyard Shift for trainer Mike Pino. 3-year-old daughter of Midnight Loot. Had first-time blinkers last out, and she had a big win against, that was cheap. It was against Maiden 75 at Ellis Park, going long on the turf. But Pino jumped in and claimed her. Finds a nice spot first off the claim, and he gets Vargas. I think the 6 Graveyard Shift is live here, and you'll get a good 10, 12-1 price.
Yep, I'll toss in the 9. Another one is possibly going to sneak away to price. Dropping second off of a little bit of a break. I just don't think she was nearly as bad as what she showed. Emily Hattie had no run last time. Blinkers on. Let's hope it helps her, wakes her up a little bit. But the price user in there, the 3. My key's going to be the 10. I think proven to make a run into it.
All right, it's a nice big field. Race 10, Laurel Park wraps up the Stronach 5. That's it. We're out of time. Big 10 race card. Beautiful weather. We're fast and firm. Come on out here. Enjoy your Friday to kick off the race weekend. Dave Rodman's coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.